हाय गाइस, मैं सूर्यांश और आप देख रहे हैं हमारा चैनल मल्टी टीचिंग सर। आज की इस वीडियो में हम देखेंगे कि रसिया और यूक्रेन के बीच में जो वॉर हो रहा है उसके पीछे का रीज़न क्या है, क्या बैकग्राउंड है, क्यों ये वॉर हो रहा है। तो इसी को हम पॉइंट वाइज इलस्ट्रेटिव फॉर्म में, इलेबोरेटिव फॉर्म में डिस्कस करेंगे। पहला पॉइंट है कि बिफोर द डिसइंटीग्रेशन ऑफ यूएसएसआर, यूक्रेन वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ रसिया। बिफोर द डिसइंटीग्रेशन ऑफ यूएसएसआर, जो यूक्रेन कंट्री है ये यूएसएसआर का पार्ट थी। एंड एज वी ऑल नो दैट कि आफ्टर द डिसइंटीग्रेशन इन 1991 many countries such as the Belarus, Ukraine and Baltic countries, they wanted to join Western alliances, and they did also. They have joined the Western alliances and adopted the Western values, and this was the major reason that the Eastern Alliance was breached. And now let's talk about what is the Western and Eastern Alliance. Just during the Cold War, we have studied that there was two groups, Western group and Eastern group. Western group was led by USA and Eastern group was led by USSR. There was two treaties also. There was NATO, which is called the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and Warsaw Pact. NATO was controlled by the Western countries, like the Western Alliance, and Warsaw Pact was led by the Eastern Alliance. NATO combines 12 countries, including USA, and it was formed in 4 April 1949. It's the motto of these alliances were to combine the countries into its favor, and to establish its nuclear centers and other military base in these countries so that they can boost their power, their technology, their trade, etc. And similarly, the Eastern alliances also formed the Warsaw Pact in 1955, and it includes 15 countries, including USSR. But we have studied that ki after the disintegration in 1991, uh, Russia becomes the only country and which are just controlling the economic and other political affairs of the USSR. And from then Russia takes the charge and leads those countries who still want to keep their relation with Russia. और इसीलिए ये रसिया रसिया जो है वो कॉमनवेल्थ ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट स्टेट्स को इस्टेब्लिश करता है, जिसमें जो डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज हैं लाइक एज द उज्बेकिस्तान और अजरबैजान एंड तजाकिस्तान, ऑल दीज कंट्रीज ये अभी भी उनको एड प्रोवाइड कराता है, उनसे रिलेशन इस्टेब्लिश किया हुआ है। तो बट यूक्रेन वाज द कंट्री, if it would join the NATO, then Western power will reach to border of Russia. This was a major fear of Russia, and before the disintegration and after the disintegration, because Ukraine was sharing the border with Russia, and it is very important country for Russia to be its member or to be its alliance, and that's why Russia starts its border expansion to occupy the Ukraine. Because of this problem, the conflict is happening between the Russia and Ukraine. And before this attack, we are seeing from the 2 or 3 months. Before this attack, Russia already had captured the Crimea, part of Ukraine, in 2014. And this act of Russia was opposed by many Western countries, many Western alliances. And but as we all know that Russia is a very powerful country and very developed at every aspect, like as the economical, political and military, and that's why the any other countries have not argued over this topic openly. And now Russia is just occupying the two parts. We cannot say it occupying, it occupied the two pro-Russian part of Ukraine, Donetsk and Luhansk. Let's talk about what is the pro-Russian. Pro-Russian means that ki initially the peoples of the Donetsk and Luhansk have some ideological similarity with the Russians. They are just Russian origin peoples, and that's why they were called the pro-Russian. The Ukraine part of Donetsk and Luhansk were now occupied by Russia, and Russia had declared that कि Donetsk and Luhansk एक independent countries हैं. वहाँ के flags, वहाँ का symbol decide had decided already by the Russia, and this conflict leading to a wide level assassination of human rights and life of civilians. रसिया अभी भी चाहता है कि वो डोनेस्टिक और लुहांस के पार्ट को तो कैप्चर किया हुआ है, बट वो यूक्रेन के अदर पार्ट्स को भी कैप्चर करना चाहता है, जिससे ये वॉर्स हो रही हैं और जिससे एक वर्ल्ड वाइड वाइड लेवल एसोसिनेशन ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट और मैंने बहुत सारे सिविलियंस अपने लाइफ में लिवलीहुड को छोड़ करके जस्ट they are just moving and like is roaming here and they are losing their lives. And ये मेजर रीजन था कि यूक्रेन और रसिया के बीच में वॉर क्यों हो रहा है. तो at last I would suggest that both these countries have need to establish a peaceful talk over this rather than this war. ना ही सिर्फ दोनों कंट्रीज के बीच में ही नहीं पीसफुल, बट अदर कंट्रीज भी इनको एडवाइस करना चाहिए, इनको सजेस्ट करना चाहिए कि आप पीसफुल टॉक एक्स्टैब्लिश करके ये जो रीज़न है वॉर का इसे सॉल्व करिए और इस डायरेक्ट वॉर में ना ये, बिकॉज नाउ द मोटिव ऑफ ईच एंड एवरी इंस्टीट्यूशन, इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन इज to establish a peace and security cooperation between each other. So if we do the peaceful talk, then we then every then these two countries can establish a peaceful existence and cooperation, and rather than this war. So we have just discussed the reason of war, why the war is happening, and what is the background of this war. So now I'm just ending my class. So at last I would suggest that if you like this video, then just place like button, and if you have some queries, some doubt, and some suggestions you would like to give me, then just comment over this video. Thank you guys. Thank you.